Hello everyone and welcome to tonight's Kiki. I want to thank everyone for joining me this evening, and I hope everyone had a great day and is having a great evening. And if you're part of the replay gang, don't forget to leave a comment and let me know that you're there. Hey replay gang, hashtag replay. And as you guys come on in, don't forget to like the live and join the family if you haven't already done so by hitting that subscribe button, okay? So we're going to give it a couple of minutes and let everyone get notified and come on in. Hey, Miss Erica, how are you this evening? Thanks for joining. Let's get a couple of things out the way. Full moon is Saturday. I believe the full moon is Saturday. And the full moon is going to be in the sign of Pisces. And Pisces, we know, is about creativity and everything like that. So start preparing yourself to do some candle magic. Full moons are for releasing. So you want to release anything that no longer serves you, any blockages to your creativity. But be mindful that tomorrow on Friday, Mercury goes retrograde. And I know many of us have been feeling the effects of Mercury going retrograde. I started feeling it last week, and I'm continuing to feel it this week. So when Mercury goes retrograde, it has the impression that the planet is going backwards. And during a Mercury retrograde, it doesn't always have to be negative if you know how to work with that energy. So be mindful of communications. That's especially text messages and verbal communications. Stuff could get lost in translation. Technology might be a little bit wonky for you during the retrograde, and I think it lasted till October 2nd, I believe. So it's a pretty long retrograde. If you're planning any trips during this month, check, double check, and triple check your travel itinerary and arrangements. Make sure that you have all your T's crossed and I's dotted. Make sure you have all your paperwork, especially if traveling out of the country. So you want to make sure that you have everything ready before you actually go on your trip. Double check all your plans. Exactly. So we don't have to always view Mercury going retrograde as negative. Just we know what happens during a retrograde, and this retrograde is rolling into a full moon, so it's even more amplified and crazy out here. So just be mindful if you're signing any contracts, like getting a new job, buying a new car, purchasing a new home or something, anything dealing with contracts. Check, double check, and triple check the paperwork, and be sure to read all of the fine print and make sure that it's something that you really want to commit to, because once you sign it, you're committed to it. And if you don't see all that, if you don't read all that fine print, you might be signing something that you really don't agree with. So just be careful out there. Yeah, I don't like retrogrades, but I try to see the positive in it and just be mindful. Because this one is a little hard. This one's a little hard. This one definitely is a little hard and stressful. That's for bloody sure. Energy zapping. So I don't know if anybody else out there have experienced like all your energy being sucked out of you for the last week and a half or so. That was me. It's like all the energy just was just like drained. And I'm just like, dude, where did all that energy go that I had before? So yeah, this is a rough retrograde, and it's for me. Might not be for you, but for me, it's a rough retrograde and full moon. But I can get through it. I can get through it. Be mindful of any intentions that you set, because you have to be very specific with the intentions that you set if you're going to do candle magic during this retrograde. So you can still set intentions. I personally will just be focusing on protection and say, continuing the intentions that I've already set. So I'll be focusing on protection, grounding, things like that, releasing. So I don't think this particular full moon, I'll be setting any intentions. I'll just be doing a lot of releasing. And this is also a good time to do some shadow work. We're, getting into the fall season. Samhain is coming, which is in October, which is, Halloween. So that's the witch's new year. So Samhain is coming. So we're starting to wind things down here. And preparing for the next year. I've already started breaking out my stuff for my vision board for 2023. So I'm getting, ideas of how I want my 2023 to look. So I'm already, planning that now. Because I do the vision board party in December. Yeah, I do it in December for sure, before the new year. And October is my month, besides my birthday month, which is this month. But October is definitely my month because I love Halloween. I love most holidays. I love the mess out of Christmas when I was younger. That's because I got a bunch of presents. Now I'm an adult and pretty much don't get too much of nothing. I'm still grateful for what I get, but it's Christmas hit different when you're an adult. That's for sure. But Halloween, I love Halloween. That's the month I can sit back and watch all the horror movies that I want without, somebody picking on me or saying, why are you watching horror movies yet again? So there's no shame. I have an excuse to watch my horror movies for a whole month. So I'm going to be horror movie out for a whole month. And I'm excited about it. I just don't know what I'm going to watch the typical stuff, the classics. And then I want to watch my typical Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween for sure. Because I watch the first two Halloweens on Halloween. But I want to incorporate some other stuff too. I don't think I'll be watching Harry Potter this year because I typically watch Harry Potter during Christmas time, which is weird. I know I'm rambling. I'm just trying to let everyone come on in and get notified before we get started. It's been a relatively slow week, but we did have some breaking news today. That's for sure. Is there any other announcements I want to give out besides the full moon? I don't think so. On Mercury retrograde. I think that was pretty much it. That's my special announcements. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay? I got to shuffle. So, but before we actually get started, I want to say rest in peace to, is it Bernard Shaw? Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Let me see. Yeah, Bernard Shaw. He was a known CNN anchor for about 20 years, and he passed away today at the age of 82. He was CNN, looked like he was CNN's first chief anchor. So rest in peace to Mr. Bernard Shaw. A comedian that has passed away, I saw that this morning. Let me get his name. David A. Arnold. He was a comedian. He also was one of the writers on Fuller House, and he was the showrunner and creator of the Nickelodeon live action comedy of That Girl Lele. So he unfortunately passed away. I know my best friend was all on social media talking about him this morning when I woke up. So he unfortunately passed away today at 54. So let's get into the big one that happened. Let's see. And then on American time, Queen Elizabeth passed away on American time sometime like shortly after noon. The world was notified that she passed away. Me being in Detroit, I'm a hop, skip, and a jump away from Canada, so I could see that they lowered their flag to half mast, and later on in the day, a lot of the government buildings and things in Detroit and in America lowered their flag half mast as well to recognize her passing. Queen Elizabeth was Britain's second how do I want to put it? She had the longest reign. She sat on the throne longest after her great grandmother, Queen Victoria. She surpassed Queen Victoria. Elizabeth was on the throne for 71 years of her 96 years. With that, there was some trials and tribulations, some scandals. We know currently her son is wrapped up in a scandal, that Jeffrey Epstein, and there's strife between Harry and Prince William, but it looks like the family is together mourning the Queen. Charles Big Ears is the king now, so they have declared him king because that's been already been in the works. The succession was already in the works, all pretty much already in play after Prince Philip passed away, because Queen Elizabeth was starting to relinquish some of her duties to Charles. So my heart and my prayers go out to the House of Windsor, to the family, and to the Commonwealth, because for a lot of us, not even Britons, for a lot of us, this is the only queen that we've known Britain to have. So she's reigned for a long time, 71 years. Yeah, Bernard Shaw was CNN's first black anchor. So rest in peace to Bernard Shaw. Rest in peace to Mr. Arnold, the comedian. Hey, Paris, thanks for joining. How you doing? So yeah, so this is like pretty much like when Pope John Paul II died. I get that kind of feeling. It's like that he was the only pope I ever known, and she's the only queen I've ever known for Britain. For England. So now to have Big Ears as king, and Camilla, she's not queen, but she's consort, but she's there. But we have to respect Big Ears. But my heart and prayers do go out to the Commonwealth and to the Queen's family, because, she was human. Not only was she queen, she was human. She was a mother. She was a grandmother. She was a great grandmother. And she held a lot of responsibility, and she was strict. She was strict. But she also knew how to have fun as well. We didn't see too much of her fun side, but I'm pretty sure the family did. CNN's first black anchor, Bernard Shaw, passed away, and Mr. Arnold, David A. Arnold, he was a writer and a comedian. He was a stand-up comedian. He wrote for Fuller House, that was on Netflix, and he also was the showrunner and creator of the live action Nickelodeon show, That Girl Lele. So he passed away today as well, besides the Queen of England. So these threes came real quick today. And Queen Elizabeth was like the big one. I didn't see this one coming. I kind of suspected that she was ill, because she did test positive earlier in the year for COVID, but it looks like she was rebounding from that and started back some of her duties, but not a lot of them. But her husband passed away last year, and I kind of was questioning if she was going to last after Prince Philip had passed away. So, but a year and some months later, she's joined him. So look at her. She looked like everyone's grandmother. She looks like the world's grandmother. And it's just going to be different. And I do wonder how her death affects the rest of the world's economy, and how this is going to have a ripple effect. I know. I understand, because I slightly remember Bernard Shaw on CNN, but when I was little, I didn't watch too much of CNN. But I kind of low-key remember him. So I was just, pretty much heartbroken about that. Yeah, that's why I was thinking, parents. I was just like, I hope she don't follow him. But she was already, her health was already declining. And Philip died at 99. He died at 99 last year. And she died at 96. So they got good, longevity to them. And Charles is 73, and he's reigning king. See, I'm still want her here. He's now king at 73. So it's going to look different with him being king. I know he's prepared for this all his life. That goes with the territory, but hopefully he start having Prince William start taking on a lot more some responsibility in preparation for him to become king. So we'll just have to see what Charles do. We just have to see what Charles do. And yeah, Camilla is there. There is that. But I did want to pay my respects to not only the Queen of England and the Commonwealth, on her passing, but also of Bernard Shaw. We need to recognize Bernard Shaw because he was CNN's first black anchor. I mean, come on now. That's major. That's major. That's major for us. So his passing is profound. It has a profound effect. And then there is Mr. Arnold. What's going to happen with that girl Lele show now? I mean, hopefully it continues on in its stead. But he was the showrunner and creator, and hopefully they had other writers so they can move forward on the show. But my heart and prayers go out to the Shaw family, CNN, and the Arnold family, as well as the Commonwealth and the Queen of England's family as well. So let's continue on. I know you guys have heard about Tiffany Haddish and Aries. I want to say his last name is Spears, but I'm just going to say Aries. We know about. I haven't watched this video, and I don't want to, so don't even suggest it. But I seen like a screenshot, and I could just imagine the inappropriateness that happened in this skit. But Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears is being sued over inappropriate skit. Pretty much like it's being suggested as some type of pornography-ish, borderline soft porn-ish. It involves a girl and a boy who is the girl is an adult now and the boy is a teenager. So there is a lawsuit out there. Tiffany has came out and spoken. Her attorney was saying that it was a shakedown and they're not going to, the typical thing you hear behind something like this. But Tiffany, I don't know if you want to see that. And that sucks. For all he did for CNN, they didn't even shout him out and, recognize his death. Come on now. CNN, I understand the Queen passed away, and that's major news, but Mr. Shaw is one of your own. You could have a little blurb or something, CNN. Do better. But yeah, so Tiffany came out and made her own statement saying that, kind of low-key acknowledging it. That's great. That's, some, at least MSNBC acknowledged it because I saw it on Facebook. So that's great. At least somebody is acknowledging it, that his passing. But so, yeah, Tiffany came out and made her little statement, basically low-key acknowledging that, she realized that the skit was wrong and inappropriate, and she looked forward to telling her side of the story. So it looks like she's expecting to do this during the trial. Aries hadn't made a statement until recently, so I guess he has lawyered up and came out and basically saying that this is a shakedown. He views this as a shakedown. So we'll just have to see how things play out. But you know how things happen when you're early on in your career. This was early on in her career. I think Aries was already pretty much established, but was on a downward swing of his career when this skit came out. And money is money, and Tiffany was out there trying. I guess I'm not excusing the behavior, trust me, I'm not, because from what I'm gathering from this skit, it's sickening. You having little minors perform acts, if you guys can read between the line, like mimic acts. It's just sickening. And they're the adults in the matter. We might find out later on that this is bigger than Tiffany and Aries, but they're the face of this lawsuit right now. Well, it hasn't been a trial yet, but they're going to court because they're being sued. They're being sued, so they're going to court unless somebody pay out. and I don't see anybody paying out just straight out. So I'm expecting this to go to court, because the way Tiffany Haddish is talking, it sounds like she's expecting to go to court. So it's probably going to be a trial or something. So, but at least Tiffany is they're the adults in the matter, so they should have some type of knowledge to be like, okay, this don't seem what this might not have been what I signed up for. So oh, this is your first time hearing about this. Oh yeah, I've been hearing about this for about a week or so, and I didn't want to bring it. Well, last week I didn't do a Kiki, and then I was just like, okay, well, let's go ahead. It's still out here, so let's go ahead and talk about it. So yeah, this thing been out for about a good minute, and it ain't going anywhere. That's for sure, because Tiffany Haddish attorney is saying that the mother behind these two individuals has been trying to go after Tiffany for years about this skit. So somebody's gonna have to pay for this, because you had little kids doing some not so cool stuff, and they was taken advantage of. And whether Aries and Tiffany knew for sure that this was going to happen, or if the skit went left and they had no choice but to play along with it. But at some point, you're the adult in the situation, and you should know to either say that I'm not comfortable with this, let's stop. I'm pretty sure the parents or something allowed the kids to be in that. So it was from what I'm gathering, I might be wrong, but it's the comedy house that most comedians go to make a name for themselves. So it's like one of the comedy houses, but they had a kid version of it, and they was allowing them to do skits, and Tiffany and Aries was part of it. Yeah, it is not PG rated, because the whole premise behind the skit was the eyes of a edophile. I'm not going to say the complete word, but it rhymes with edophile. We all know what that rhymes with. So it's through the eyes of an edophile. So you could kind of imagine what this skit was, involving kids. So if Tiffany and Aries somehow got duped in the midst of this skit, and it went left, and they kind of got stuck, and exactly, Erica. That's why it's like a WTF type ish. What? Yeah. So that's why this story isn't going away. Not anytime soon. We might slowly throughout the month or into October slowly not hear about it, but it's going to pop up probably periodically, because I'm thinking this thing is going to go to court, because I don't see Tiffany or Aries trying to pay out for this, and if it's not them, because they didn't come up with it. It sounds like they didn't come up with the skit. They was hired. They got paid. They was already paid to do the skit. So it's like they walked in there. It's like they walked in there under the pretense of one skit. Already got paid for it. They came back out because they got paid, and then they got involved in something completely different than what they was originally shown to be the skit, if that makes sense. So it's like they got bamboozled to a certain degree, but they're adults, And they, whether I'm looking like, look, whether I got paid or not, I'm sitting up here like this. If I'm not liking what's going on, and for Tiffany to go along with it, even knowing her background because she was abused as a child. Yeah, exactly, Paris. Hey, Sheila. But for Tiffany to go along with this type of a skit, and she was abused as a child, you would think that she, of all people, would be sitting up there trying to protect the children, you know. But maybe in the beginning of her career, she felt like she didn't have that power or have that say. I don't know, but I don't care. If I was abused as a child and and I'm getting involved, I see this type of issue going on, I'm gonna be like, I can't do this. No. And I'm going to be asking where the parents at, why the parents not here, are the parents here? I want to see that they signed off on this. Do the parents know that this is what their kids are involved in? I need to see. I'm not just about to sit up here and shuck and jive. So I don't know. This is going to affect their careers. I can guarantee you that. And Tiffany been hot for a minute. Tiffany has been hot. You know, she out here doing her thing. She's on the upswing. And Aries, what the heck Aries doing? What the heck Aries been doing since Mad TV got off the air? Can somebody tell me what Aries been doing? Except for popping up on the Dark Side of Comedy TV show on Vice. Not a plug, but that's something I do watch. That's how I know he on it. That's not a paid sponsor or anything like that. It's a good series, though. I'm learning a lot doing that dark side of whatever series. Dark side of wrestling, dark side of football. Now they doing the dark side in the 90s. They did the dark side in the 90s. I learned a lot. And now they doing the dark side of the comedy. Yeah, I'm learning a lot. But not a paid sponsorship. But I do like the show. So that's how I know Aries is on it, because he's popping up. So I don't see him doing anything else other than something like that. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Maybe he's doing some stand-up, in LA somewhere. I don't live there, so I wouldn't know. You saw him on what show? Mad TV or The Dark Side? See, yeah, and now that the more I read about the allegations and the background of this, you're as an adult, you're like, how did y'all allow this to happen? How did you allow yourself to get involved in something like this? Really, how did you really get yourself involved? Oh, The Dark Side, yeah, because it come on. I think it come on Tuesday nights on Vice. It's a really good series. I'm sorry, it is. I learned a lot. But I'm just saying, how as an adult, how did you allow yourself to get into this type of situation? And now you're out here being sued. So this is gonna damage their careers. What's left of Aries is going to get damaged for sure. And Tiffany, like I said, she's on the upswing, and so this will be a setback for her. I don't know anybody that have allegations to this extent and their career don't get affected. Look at MJ. All the allegations, his career did get affected a little bit. MJ was like a mega star, but he still got affected. His career did get affected by the allegations and that trial. Hell, Ricky Martin's nephew accused him of abuse. And you think Ricky Martin's career didn't get affected? Now Ricky Martin now is suing the nephew for some money for wrongfully accusing him of that. but I don't know anybody that has been accused of this and their career don't get affected. It might not get affected on a major scale, but and then again it could be. So for some it does get it does affect them on a major scale and they cannot work again. And some others they are able to have some type of career after the allegations. I know, yeah, I understand. I understand, Sheila. We know there was some lies being told. But I'm just saying, even with those lies, his career was affected a little, a little bit. His career did get affected. And then not only just his career, Janet's career. We saw that in the documentary of hers. And she spoke briefly on how, just guilty of association, she said. She lost a Coca-Cola deal during that trial. A major Coca-Cola deal. So again, this is another one where we just have to wait and see what happened between these two and this lawsuit and see if they have a career afterwards. Because Tiffany is basically learning the hard way. We all know that the rumors around Tiffany is that she can't keep her mouth shut. She don't know how to act in public. And this, that, and other. Tiffany gonna be Tiffany. But these are some hard lessons that she's learning. And I am sympathetic towards Tiffany. But y'all are adults and y'all should know better to not get involved in situations like this. And if you see something like this, you need to stop and be like, I'm not comfortable with this. I don't care. I don't care how much you pay me. This don't seem right. This don't seem right. Especially if it involves minors, Adults, that's different. But when it involves minors doing some shady stuff and you're compliant, you gonna be looking like you're compliant in it. No, that's not cool. It's just not cool. It's just not cool. And again, like I said, Tiffany was abused as a child, so she know what that looks like. That could very well be because she was just at the beginning of her I believe she was at the beginning of her career. So like I said earlier, maybe she did feel like she had no voice and she had to do this. That she already had her money and probably already spent it, But she got to be held accountable for it, because now it's surfaced. It's surfaced. They got to be held accountable. And if it's someone higher than them, they got to be held accountable too, because who owns that comedy, that place that they did the skit in? Who's behind all of that? I mean, seriously. If somebody wrote the skit, somebody is behind all of that. So there's someone above Aries and Tiffany. Someone hired them. So maybe they're going through Tiffany and Aries to get to that bigger person. That could very well be. But we have to, wait and see what happens with this. Exactly, Sheila. So I don't see this going anywhere unless somebody pay up. And the way Tiffany and Aries is talking right now, there ain't nobody about to pay up. Exactly. That's why I'm like, Tiffany, you was abused as a child before. Come on. You should have known, no, not to do this. Something in your brain should have clicked and said, no, I'm not doing this. Have some type of standard, All money ain't good money. I understand you trying to break into the business, but all money ain't good money now. To be exploiting kids. Just saying. Now, yet again, there has been another fair ride go wrong. So we've been hearing about this at least once a month now. So this is the airdrop. I think it's called the airdrop or death drop or whatever it is. So it's able to hold 50 people. I believe it's able to hold about 30 to 50 people. 10 people got injured on this thing because it went so up and it just immediately just drops. And this thing, if you watch the video, it dropped, it went up and then just, it's just like something just dropped them. Because you know, some rides, okay, let me see. I got a comment. It says, article paints the worst offender to be Aries, but Tiffany was not complacent. Complicated. She said it was supposed to be funny. Yeah, it was supposed to be funny. Complacent. It was supposed to be funny. Yeah, it was supposed to be funny. But it didn't. But when you look at that, it's not funny. Yeah, so this thing, it's like, for lack of better thing, it's like this pen just dropping. Just like that. It's just like this pen just dropping. That's how that ride dropped. So it went up and then it was just like, and once it landed, you saw people just bouncing off the ride. It was horrible to watch. It was very horrible to watch. But you saw people pretty much bouncing off this ride as soon as it touched ground. And rumor has it that as soon as that ride hit ground, the ride operators just ran. They skedaddled before police and people can show up. So, but 10 people, I don't believe anybody lost their lives, but 10 people did get injured. But I don't think anyone lost their lives on this one. But these rides are getting, I think rides have always been dangerous, but it's like now it's like, no, to this level where we're hearing accidents almost at least once or twice a month from fairs or amusement parks. Something's not right. And I think the one where the boy fell off of just dropped from, because he wasn't secured and they was trying to say it was his weight. That thing was inspected before they allowed people to ride it that day. So yeah, so they got rickety rides out here, and I don't know what level of inspection that they're having. I don't think it's thorough enough, because this, I understand accidents happen at these amusement parks and fairs. Accidents happen, but this is too much. And look, I done got older, and I ain't getting on no rides. I'm not getting on any type of rides. So, you ain't about to catch me on no dang on ride. And I would, at this point, I wouldn't even put none of the kids on rides. And they grown. I wouldn't even let their kids be on a ride. Unless it's one of their kids is still babies. They got to be in kiddie land. But not nothing that go up in the air. Not nothing that go up in the air. Yeah, that's how we were too, Erica. I ain't get on no rides at no carnival or fair. My aunt did convince me to get on the Ferris wheel for the first time, and I never did that crap again. But amusement parks, yeah, I got on rides there, but I was younger, so you ain't about to catch my butt on that, on none of that crap. Nah. I fell asleep on one of them dang on rides on the way up, and I woke up on the way down. And it was, at the time, it was Cedar Point's tallest ride. So that was like in the 90s. Yeah. So and I had that girl I rode that ride with had to pay me to get on that. I fell asleep on the way up. Woke up on the way down, never rode that thing again. Because I'm scared of heights. And got on that dang on thing. I was like, nope. After this, we going to Western country and we staying on the ground. We gonna play dress up. And cowboy and Indians. I don't care. We going back to Berenstein Bear Country. That's at Cedar Point in Ohio. Sandusky, Ohio. That's the one us Detroiters go to. Now we got Michigan Adventures. Yeah, I ain't doing no dang on Ferris wheel. Nah. Yeah, I believe they are just to get these rides up. Yeah, I couldn't be on something like that if they shaking and rocking the Ferris wheel, the car that we in. Nope, not. I know what to do to that person when we get back home. I'm just saying. But yeah, I do believe that they not, something ain't right. Just something not right. They making these rides entirely too fast. Are they really passing every inspection out there? I'm just saying. Because we having too many accidents. And this one was crazy. It just free fall dropped. Because nothing's supposed to drop like that. It's supposed to drop you and then slowly stop. It's supposed to be a fast drop and then a stop and then slowly lower you down. That's what the demon drop did back in the day. It's a drop and then there's a slow period where it brings you down to the ground safely. Not no boom and you bouncing everywhere, bouncing off the ride, about a foot off of it. No, something ain't right. Something's just not right. They're gonna have to do some better maintenance and whatnot on these rides. Inspections, higher inspection levels. Exactly, they're prone to getting stuck now. I mean, even back when I was riding them, some of them was getting stuck, but they're getting stuck even more frequent. My fraternity brother was on a ride and the power went out in the dang on park, and him and his daughter and her friends was stuck on that thing for a couple of hours. Can you imagine being on a dang on ride and the whole power in the park go out? Yeah, you sound like me, Erica. Exactly, Sheila. Yeah, so now you ain't about to catch my butt on no dang on rides right now. Bumper cars. But yeah, can you imagine being on a ride and it just the whole power go out in the park and you stuck on a ride for hours and it's hot as Hades out there. Thankfully they wasn't hanging upside down and the blood rushing to their heads. That's just horrible. But they need to have a higher standard of inspections for these rides because this stuff is happening entirely too often now. Too often for me. Now, I know you guys have been hearing about Chris Brown. Chris Brown was charging $1,000 for his little meet and greets, and I've seen some of the pictures. And yes, more maintenance is necessary. Yeah, that's for sure. He was charging $1,000 for his little meet and greets, and them pictures look like jailhouse pictures. I'm sorry, but you paid $1,000, and those pictures look like jailhouse pictures. I'm sure his fans have fun. He had fun. He said that he hadn't did a meet and greet in pretty much a decade. So this was him showing love and giving back to his fans. But I'm sorry, but I'm not paying $1,000 to see you in addition to my ticket. You ain't Tupac. I'm just saying. But now Bow Wow wants to do the same thing. But he has this whole, you have a whole experience with him. You get to spend a day with him or something like that. It's all spelled out. I think with Chris Brown, it was just a meet and greet, and you get a picture taken. Like I said, looked like a jailhouse picture. But with Bow Wow, Bow Wow, it's a whole bloody experience. And now people was giving Chris Brown hell about charging his fans $1,000, and now people are giving Shad Moss, aka Bow Wow, grief for wanting to do the same. Why it can't just be included with? I understand if they want a VIP, but if it's VIP just for a dang on picture, that's not enough. I could see with Bow Wow, he's giving you extra things. He go bowling with you and this, that, and other. You can spend extra time with him. It's a whole experience. But if it's just you paying VIP and it's just a picture and you get backstage access and that's just it. With Bow Wow, I think he's backstage access, a bowling day or something. He got a list of things. I didn't see that with Chris Brown. It might be out there. I don't know. But I mean, they got like Sheila said, they got bills to pay. I get it. Child support. I get it. But I ain't paying $1,000 to see you. Like I said, you ain't Pac. So I'm just saying. I guess, or it's like maybe it's gonna be a group thing. I don't know. It makes sense if it was a group thing, but they out here doing the most now. I mean, Bow Wow is cool, but what has he released in recently? Except for being on, what is that, Love and Hip Hop? Not Love and Hip Hop. It's Hip Hop and whatever. Hip Hop Atlanta. What has he released like recently in music wise? What has he done recently except for causing trouble? Drama. Having a weird hairstyle. Being a father, a typical father embarrassing his daughter. I'm just saying. Paris. But what has Bow Wow done recently to want to pay $1,000 just to see him? Chris Brown is steadily releasing music. I could kind of understand him charging it because he's relevant. He's releasing music. Bow Wow been talking about he's retiring. So now you want to sit there and charge $1,000 for meet and greets because Chris Brown did it? Monkey see, monkey do. It might not work for you. It worked for him, but it might not work for you. At least, like I said, at least Chris Brown got music out here. Recent music. I ain't about to pay you $1,000 to meet you, spend some time with you, go bowling, and you playing, you singing songs from over a decade ago. And that's it. No new hits. If he did this crap back in the day when he was hot, yeah, he definitely would be making a killing. Dude, I took him in that I think it was the Millennial Tour or Scream Tour or something like that. It was like the early 2000s, I think it was. They was at our local Burger King. I took the kids to see him for free. I got to see that boy for free. Me and the kids at BK, at Burger King parking lot for free. I ain't paying no $1,000 to see him. He lost his verses. Did he have a verses? Who was he versing against? Who was he battling against? I didn't even know Bow Wow had a verses. But like I said, I ain't paying $1,000 to see neither one of these folk. Like I said, you ain't Tupac. I'll pay $1,000 just to see Tupac just stand there and smile. Really? Well, he probably did lose that. I'm just saying. If it was against Soldier Boy, he probably did lose that. I mean, they out here doing the most, but I can't blame them. It's a money grab. It's a money grab. They got bills like you said. They got bills to pay and they got child support. They out here got to do what they got to do. But there's a difference with paying $1,000 to see somebody that has music out here versus somebody that wants to stay relevant, wants to make a money grab, but you ain't got no new music. Hey Demi, how you doing? So either way, it's a money grab for both of them. But if it was a choice, I probably would be going to see Chris Brown because at least he got new music. At least he's still out here doing new music. With Bow Wow, he ain't released crap in over a decade. I'm just saying. And he talking about he threatening retirement and crap. Maybe it is for a show. Maybe he got a personal show coming, a side show coming out besides hip hop growing up, hip hop in Atlanta, whatever the name of the show is. I don't care. See, like I said, if it was Tupac, yes. Freddie Mercury, yes. You know, it's a few people that I would pay money to see. You know, just to stand there. They ain't got to do crap. Michael Jackson. Exactly. We all waiting for that one, Erica. But not these two fools. I'm sorry. I got $2, and it ain't gonna be my last $2. That's my bus fare. Y'all remember that old song, My Last $2? one's for my bus fare, one for the jukebox. I think that's how it went. They ain't getting my last $2. No. Sorry, not sorry. But I ain't paying that type of money for that. They might get some loose change. Yeah, they might get some loose change from the the car, cup holder thing. They might get some loose change. But that's it. No. Sorry, not sorry. I was so annoyed with so annoyed with them when they said that. But let them do them. Y'all heard that Justin Bieber finally ended his tour because of to focus on his health. Let's just pray that he gets better and he's able to control that syndrome and it doesn't get any worse. But Justin Bieber did cancel the remainder of his tour due to health issues. Oh my God! See, I seen Prince, and I would love for Prince to come back and do another concert. Yes, that was worth it. That was worth it. Prince is worth it. BB King is worth it too. BB and Bobby, child, don't get me started on them too. But did you guys hear about this New Jersey teacher who she's a brick house. She's a true brick house. Badunkadunk, she got the chest, she got a small waist, and she got a badunkadunk. Now, these New Jersey parents, these New Jersey oh my God, and Luther too. Luther, child. Y'all about to get me started. But these New Jersey parents is calling for this particular teacher, who is I believe she is a woman of color, to be fired because she's causing a distraction to the students. These kids are kindergartners. They're kindergartners. What type of distraction is they causing? It sounds like it's a problem with the parents. Mainly, probably the mothers. I don't see how the fathers would have a problem with her. I didn't want to put the lady picture up here, but if you Google New Jersey teacher or whatever, it'll pop up. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't see them baby daddies and them boyfriends of the moms. They having an issue with her. The lady, the woman is cute too. So I'm like, I don't see them having a problem. So it sounds like them PTA moms, them soccer moms, them carpool, that carpool moms. It sounds like them having an issue with her and her looks and her body shape. You can't fire a teacher on how she's shaped. And they came out and said that. Yeah, exactly. She's distracting the spouse, but she ain't distracting them kids. Exactly. Why we gotta be sitting up here hating on each other? Yeah, I will have to, be like, nah, honey, you ain't going to the school to pick up the children today. I'm doing it. For the remainder of the school year. As long as she there, I'm picking up the kids. But I ain't about to sit up there and call for her to lose her dang on job. She probably is a dang on good teacher. And probably one of the best that school has. But just because y'all jealous and because y'all can't have her body, y'all want to make her lose her job. No. You can't. The school board cannot fire her because she's shaped like a Coke bottle. She's shaped better than the Coke bottle. I mean, I'm talking about that. Exactly. Them men will be so happy to go to finally go to a PTA meeting and drop some money at the next bake sale. You know how many men be sitting up there who be baking for the next bake sale she have for them kids? How much money she will rake in? Exactly. She probably is completely focused on them dang on kids. And I agree, Sheila. The moms need to not hate. Don't sit up there and hate on this woman because she's shaped better than you. I mean, go to the gym and do something, or just if you don't want to go to the gym, love the skin you in, boo. I love the skin I'm in. It took a minute, but I love the skin I'm in. Checkbooks, blood plasma, a kidney, they left arm for that love. I'm doing blues references now. I went in some ZZ Hill there. Exactly. Them kids would be always focused. Always, because the dad would be like this. Don't be caught. You cause some problem in that school and let me come up there. Go ahead. Do it. Do it. I'll come right up there. They'll be wanting them kids to cause problems in her class so they could go up there and just sit. They'll want them kids to cause problems so they could go ahead and sit up there in that classroom. They want a reason. Girl, you know when I throw out that chop off my right arm for your love. You know I gotta throw out my ZZ. You know I gotta throw out my ZZ. If I throw out BB, I gotta throw out my ZZ. Okay, it looks like my video is acting up. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. But it's just a dang on shame that the moms, because I'm just gonna fully believe that it's the moms and not the dads, because I can't see where the dads will be sitting up there having an issue with her shape, you know, unless they, you know, jealous that they ain't got it. I'm just saying. But there's that. I just thought it was ridiculous. You got this young cute girl that's love teaching her students, love the activities that she has them doing. She just loved being around those kids, and she showcases that on her social media, or at least the school's website. And it's not like she dressed inappropriate. She dressed very conservatively. So they can't say that she's just out there dressing slutty in the class. So she can't be causing no distraction. I seen a picture where she had a turtleneck dress on. What's wrong with that? She pretty much covered up. She's wearing jeans and a regular shirt. Come on now. She ain't got no plunging neckline. She ain't got her boobies just coming out. Just imagine if Jill Scott had a very small waist. I mean, a very tiny waist. That's how this lady is built. She's built as if Jill Scott had a very tiny waist. Yeah, whatever she put on is going to show her shape. It's going to accentuate it. She has no control over that. So I'm looking like, let this woman be. She's out here living her best life as a teacher. It's probably her dream job. Exactly. You sound like there's some insecurities on their part, on the mom's part, you know, that they can't trust they spouse or significant other around this lady. That lady, like Perry said earlier, that lady probably not even studying the men or whoever. Exactly. People just gonna naturally hate when you're a curvy girl. When you're a curvy girl and you got them curves all in the right places, people are just gonna hate. I was just like, when I saw that picture, I was like, this is a true brick house right here. Wow. Wow. I was just like, wow, she's gorgeous. I see why they hating on her, because they jealous. Clear cut case of jealousy. I saw this and I was just like, how they gonna get this lady fired? How? What school board is going to actually fire her? You know that would be the biggest lawsuit of discrimination. Wrongful termination and discrimination. That'll be the biggest lawsuit that they will have. And you know she will win it. You know she will win it. Exactly. I just be sitting there like this. Look, ain't nobody studying you or your man. I'm just sorry. And schools is out. Yes, Erica. Schools is out here begging for more teachers. Why don't these moms that's jealous of this teacher. Why don't they go to school and become teachers so they could teach at that school? Exactly. Exactly, Demi. The moms need to take they narrow behinds back to school instead of going to the nearest Starbucks so they could, be in the drop off lane, dropping off Susie and Sally and Bobby and them, and complain about them like, don't be causing no trouble in school today, as they sip on their mocha latte, whatever, and they drag back home so they could do nothing all the rest of the day other than watch soaps. Can I have that life? Go to school and become a teacher so you can help the schools in your area. Hell, you don't even have to have. Some of these schools is not even requiring you to have certifications to be teachers now, because that's how desperate they are to have teachers. Exactly. They ain't got to go to Venezuela and Puerto Rico and Brazil to get, plastic surgery and dang near die on the table. I'm just saying. Get yourself we can't promote that because we don't watch K. Michelle's show. So, yeah, I'm sitting up here like these mommy makeovers. Is they really worth it after watching K. Michelle's show? I'm good. Let's see if I got another one. Oh, okay. So this is the last one. And this is the longest Kiki I've done. I'm just saying. That means I'm having fun with you guys. Now, these two shows just recently been released. One on HBO Max, which is House of Dragon, which is a prequel to Game of Thrones. And then Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, which is a real prequel to the Lord of the Rings franchise. So people are giving these two shows grief because they have black characters. And Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, they got black elves. And from what I'm hearing, some of these characters have been invented. They're not part of the original books. And in House of the Dragon, you have people of color in prominent positions. I don't freaking care. It's fantasy. Let there be representation. Why are you hating? I understand people are going to hate, and there's some ignorant people out here, and they real mad at black folk being in these fantasy. You got black people that are doing cosplay. If you guys don't know what cosplay is, it's just adult version of dress up. And people are dressing up as their favorite anime character. Or, Star Trek person, or Star Wars person, or Marvel person. That's what cosplay is. It's just basically adult dress up. And a lot of these black cosplayers are getting backlash because they like, oh no, you're doing so and so character, and so character is not black. I don't care. It makes that person happy because they like that character and they want to dress up as that character. They should be allowed to dress up as that character. I don't care. Exactly. Racism in a fiction story. And yes, I'm on my soapbox and I'm sorry, but this pissed me off. Because for decades, Caucasian people have been playing people of color. Every movie I've seen that have Egyptians in it is always a Caucasian person playing it, playing the pivotal roles. It's always a Caucasian person. No one is upset about that. Nobody is saying anything about that. There's always a Caucasian person that have to be tanned to play in an Egyptian. Egypt is in Africa, so you know those people are naturally brown skinned or dark skinned. So why do you have a Caucasian person dressing playing a person of Egyptian that's a person of color? And it's not just Cleopatra. It's Cleopatra. You got gods of Egypt, which is a more recent movie. Yes, Jesus and Moses. I mean, you had Caucasian people playing Asians back in the day. It had no Asian in them. Charlie Chan movies. That was a Caucasian person playing an Asian. You had Caucasian people doing whiteface. Exactly. So, when I was watching the original Lord of the Rings when it first came out over a decade ago, I was so enthralled. I didn't even know that it wasn't black people in that movie, because I just was so enthralled with the story because I read the books and everything. But to now see representation in the show, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And in House of the Dragon, you could clearly see, like, no, you could see some the people of color in House of the Dragon. You could tell, they black. They from the hood. They didn't like, yeah, we don't drink around the white folk. No, we don't. We not gonna indulge around the white people. I need to have a clear head when I'm talking to these people. So I love both of these shows for different reasons, because I like Game of Thrones, except for that last season because it was a travesty, and I love Lord of the Rings. But I really love seeing that representation. It does my heart good seeing black people in there, because Middle Earth wasn't just white folk. I'm just saying, Middle Earth was not just white folk. You had a whole bunch of different type of people. You have elves, orcs, trolls. You have wizards and humans and hobbits, and you cannot tell me in all of that mixture is not a dark skinned person or brown skinned person. Come on, you can't tell me that. In House of Dragon, you can't tell me, oh yeah, Game of Thrones had, the Unsullied, and a lot of them was people of color. So come on. So why are they mad now? Y'all just mad because this is a good show and it's showing black people in the fantasy world with higher positions? Screw you. Let us have this. Did y'all see that now? We got Love and Basketball with Sanaa Lathan and Omar. Now they're having Love and Baseball. They done gentrified Love and Basketball now. Who asked for Love and Baseball? Who asked for that? You can't just run around here gentrifying everything. We ain't running around here making things black. We doing our own thing to sit up here and show our own representation. Yeah, Love and Baseball. Ain't nobody asked for that. Let them gentrify one of Tyler Perry movies and see what happened. I want to see Tyler Perry sue the pants off them. Let them gentrify one of Tyler Perry's movies. I want to see that. How about Diary of a Mad White Woman? Let them come out with that and see what happened. I'm just saying. Yeah, they gotta be bored. But this here, it pissed me off that they wanna bitch and moan about people of color in the fantasy world. Really? Really? It's room enough for all of us in fantasy. That's what it's called, fantasy. It's a fantasy. It could be whatever we want it to be. It's not messing up any type of canon or whatever. It's a fantasy world. It could be whatever we want it to be. But let me get off my soapbox. But I wanted to throw that out for you guys. If you guys get a chance, check out House of Dragon and the Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, because they are really good shows. And check out the Dark Side series on Vice, because that's a good show. And again, I want to send out my heartfelt prayers and condolences to Bernard Shaw family, the CNN family, even though they didn't shout the man out on their own show. I also want to send my heartfelt prayer and condolences to Donald Arnold's family and to the Commonwealth on the loss of their queen, Queen Elizabeth II, and her family as well. So with that being said, don't forget to like this live, y'all. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Join the family. Check out the shop. I'll run my ads shortly. And I hope you guys enjoyed this Kiki. It was longer than usual, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. So definitely like it up and share. Don't forget to comment. And if you're part of the replay gang, don't forget to let me know that you are down there in the comments, because I will be there looking at your comments. So everyone have a good night, and I will catch you guys on the next one.